Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name, as Mr. Apostolos said, is Capt.Alexandros. I used to sail for over 15 to 16 years as a master. So today I would like to address a critical, yet often underestimated issue, let's say component of our safety performance. It calls psychological safety. Despite our SMS constructions and regulatory compliances or established procedures, incidents continue to occur. Investigations are reporting that apart from human factor, which is actually contributing a lot to the incidents, the organizational factors, the environmental factors, and sometimes luck is involved. So the question we must consider is on whether we have a procedure in place, is whether our culture enables us to follow that procedures efficiently. So, definition. I want to tell you what is psychological safety. Psychological safety is a shared belief that individual can speak freely about risks, about concerns, report mistakes, report near misses, investigating incidents without fear of, let's say, punishment or embarrassment or a career impact. So it's not about lowering our standards. It's not about removing accountability. It's about ensuring that risk and relevant information are being communicated sufficiently throughout the personnel of the fleet, also at the office. So, let's go to the second. Okay. So why psychological safety is vital? Let's see what will happen without it. So near misses goes unreported. Oh, let me change, okay. So near misses goes unreported. Minor hazards are normalized. We think that this is normal. Junior personnel, I'm talking about not only the officers, also the ratings, are hesitating to challenge decisions. Early warning signals remain hidden. So let's see, on the other hand, what we can succeed with psychological safety. There is a chance that hazards can be identified earlier. Decisions making can be improved. Operational resilience is strengthened. Incidents are prevented rather than investigated. However, psychological safety function determines whether a critical information reaches leadership, early or too late. You all know that receiving an information, analyzing and giving, let's say, a perspective of solution earlier can be better than giving it too late. So how the shore management can, let's say, build up an onboard safety culture or psychological safety, as I said. So the crew on board, looking at us at the office on how we are responding to the incidents, how we are responding to their feedback, how we are conducting our investigation, what kind of KPIs are we emphasizing to, how commercial pressures are communicated over the fleet. Let me see. Okay, never mind. So there are many factors that, and I will use something that I'm saying to my kids as well. So if you are doing a mistake, it's not your fault. It's my fault that I didn't show you the right path. And I didn't find solution to make the environment more safe for you, to avoid the mistake. So this is how I am dealing also with the crew on board. Whenever they are doing a mistake, I'm not communicating to them that this is your fault. We will try to see how we are going to prevent that incident from happening again. So speak to us, tell us what is wrong, what is your concern, Whenever you're having a concern, I have to analyze it. So, however, there are many organizational challenges that, let's say, keeping that barrier from our crew, establishing that psychological safety. Oftenly, you will find strong hierarchical structures, which sometimes can be, let's say, a positive thing, but most of the times it's a setback. Multicultural crews with varying communication norms and also attitudes. If you have an international organization with handling of multicultural crew, you have to learn about their habits, you have to learn about their culture and how they are reacting in some specific incidents. At the office, we have to understand that there is a significant fatigue and also workload pressure, commercial demands. And somehow we have to change the perception of that if something will happen, who is to be blamed? It's not about who, it's about what went wrong. So we have to change the question to what conditions can we establish to avoid, let's say, incidents of happening, which is a very difficult situation. So speak up. I'm always telling to the crew on board when I'm going for auditing or visiting, speak up. Whatever you think that, let's say, it's a silly question or it's a silly subject to start, it's not a silly. You have to be aware that without discussion, we cannot find solution. So what we can do, I will not follow the, never mind. So what we can do as leaders, what actions we can do to strengthen that culture. So there is a new, not new, newly brought to the industry thing is called Stop Work Authority. So we have to teach and educate our people on board when they see something out of the ordinary or out of the procedure to stop immediately the work. So apart from that, we have to separate learning process from disciplinary process. So we have seen incidents being dealt with disciplinary measures like sending captain home, sending chief engineer at home. This is not the solution. On the other hand, we can build up a learning process. We have to start educating ourselves and also the crew. So prioritizing leading indicators. So what I mean, we have to focus on the KPIs. Of course, we have a lot of KPIs. All of my colleagues will say that. We are following a lot of KPIs, but I think now is the time to focus on the most, let's say, important and most realistic KPIs. So we have to respond to the incidents constructively. We have to respond realistically. We have to understand that, as I said, when someone is doing a mistake, it's not their fault, it's our fault. And we have to stop that blame culture. As I said, I was working on board vessels for many years, joining a shipping company also for more than 10 years. So I have seen that blame culture is it's there. It's more easy to blame someone than to blame yourself. So my strategy, my tactic is to show to the masters of our fleet and also to my co-workers, fellows in the shipping company, that whomever is doing a mistake is not doing it by, let's say, a reason out of space. The reason is there. Just open your eyes and see it, what went wrong, and how this can be, let's say, overpassed. And most important, as I said, it's not about who failed. It's about what condition, what were the conditions that this incident happens. So, one moment. Yeah, I'm done with it. So we might have, as I said, SMS structured, very robust, very modern. However, we have to understand that the best strategy is to invest in people. This is the first warning system that we have on board. So whenever someone is telling you something, just open your mind and listen to it. It might be, let's say, not that serious, but actually something small can easily grow up and become a bigger problem that we cannot handle. So, as I said, we have to be open-minded and listen to the crew. And the most important thing to me, it's not only communicating this to the crew, it's also start building up a culture within the organization. In my presentation, I have some references on how to build up a structure by 4-pillar system or whatever, but this is all theory. Because we are talking about humans, and also we are humans, we have to find ways to support our, let's say, effort to build up this safety culture and psychological safety on board. So apart from procedures, start focusing on people, start focusing on real human behavior. So this is what I want to tell you. Thank you very much for listening to me, and have a good day.